Hundreds of thousands lay dead on the streets. It was a catastrophe the likes of which has never been seen. Mothers watched as their sons and daughters faded before their eyes, only to join them shortly after. 3 out of 5 people lost their lives. Nothing can explain the scale of suffering that these people went through. It was a truly devastating event known today as the Black Death. What is the Black Death? Or rather, who is the Black Death? The stories tell us of an ashen-faced old woman wearing a hood as black as the night sky and a skirt as red as blood. She was the personification of death itself, oozing the choking smell of rot and pestilence wherever her feet carried her. She, Pesta, was the merciless being behind the Black Plague of 1349. The Black Plague was no mere disease. No matter how hard they looked, the doctors could find no answers. Instead, thousands of them succumbed to the deadly plague. They thought they were fighting against rats and other such vermin, but in fact, they were fighting the spirit of death herself, Pesta. This was a war they had no chance of winning. There's an old tale of Pesta where she visited a lake, this time without her signature red skirt, but a blue one. She called out for the boatman to take her across. The poor boatman initially had no clue who he was dealing with, but Pesta's choking presence could not be hidden for long. It was only a matter of time before the boatman could perceive the stench of death around him. He begged earnestly for his life, seeing that she carried a rake and not her broom. For if she carried her rake, some will survive her visit. He offered to take her over at no charge in exchange for her mercy, but alas, his pleading was in vain. After consulting a large book on her lap, Pesta replied, "I cannot spare your life, but what I can do is to make your death an easy one." That night, the boatman returned home. He returned home a tired man, hopelessly fatigued. He stumbled to his bed, hoping to get some rest, but he never woke again. Pesta had delivered on her promise. It was an easy, painless death. Today, Pesta might have found her way back into contemporary stories, as in TV shows like Sabrina and the hit video game The Witcher. But centuries ago, she was the revered goddess of death. Her name was mentioned only in whispers, as no one dared incur her wrath. She claimed millions of lives during the Black Death. It is an event the likes of which we hope to never see again. It's been over 6 centuries since Pesta's reign of death. For now, we only hope that we see nothing more of her beyond her characterizations in TV shows and video games.